Hello.
Holy shit, hi!
Hi.
Well, as I've put in all my posts, holy shit, is it weird to interview someone you've known since you were, like, little?
Yeah.
So, tell my viewers, though, who you are and what you do.
My name is Jinx Aesthel. I am a makeup artist. I just generally I describe myself as an artist, I guess. I do a lot of different things. Content creator. I hate the term content creator, so
I
I don't
know.
really like to use it to describe myself, but it's one of the words.
Yeah. So how'd you first get into doing, like, makeup and special effects and stuff?
Well, I feel like this is really like nice to talk about with you because I
Mhm.
feel like so much of our friendship was around the time when I was learning everything I was, like, first starting to learn about makeup.
Yeah.
Um, like, around the time I was starting to get into horror movies,
Mhm.
that like, I never cared about makeup to look pretty. It it was fun to play with makeup because I liked the texture of it, I liked playing with
Mhm.
it, but, like, I didn't ever really feel the urge to put makeup on until I was like, "Oh, I can make something, like, artistic and creative with it, or, like,
Exactly.
turn myself into a monster."
I totally understand. Is there a specific look that you did, maybe when you're early on and doing your fancy makeup and stuff that you really want to revamp and do again? Like better?
Actually, I have been thinking about there was this series of looks I did when I was in, I think, my junior year of high school or maybe my senior year. It was toward
Mhm.
the end of high school, um, and I did sorry. I did a couple different looks inspired by the different elements. So I did like a fire look, a water look,
Mhm.
like a tree look. Um, and that was when I had my first alcohol makeup palette, and so I was just like playing with that. And
Mhm.
I had all these details coming off like the sides of my cheeks and like going down my neck and stuff. And I've been thinking like those would be a really fun thing to do those makeups, but then also do like a hair and an outfit and like really complete the whole look and not just have it be my face, but like really like expand it.
Mhm. Oh, I just realized we're only live on Facebook and YouTube. I forgot to hit the button on Instagram. There we
Oh,
go. Hello, Instagram. Now we're live.
hello Instagram.
All right.
Oh, can I
I don't
share
think I
the
ever
screen?
saw those looks when you did them back in the day. So I look forward to seeing what you do with them in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I can send you some
So,
pictures after this.
even when we were like buddies in like high school, I don't even think I knew you were doing all this makeup stuff.
Well, that's the thing is that I wasn't allowed to wear most of it to school, so
Mhm.
I would stay up late at night, and I, like, stay up into the middle of the night just doing makeup looks over and over and taking pictures, and I had DeviantArt that I used to post them on because I didn't know what to do with these pictures of these makeup, but I wanted to
Mhm.
document what I had made. Um, for me, like, the pictures weren't really the point of it, it was just the playing with the makeup and making something on my face. Um, so it wasn't until, like, toward the end of high school where I started,
Mhm.
like, actually wearing my makeup looks out and not just doing it in my bedroom in the middle of the night.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, what makeup that you've done took the most time to assemble?
Definitely the one that took me the most time, um, I, uh, I did an orc. I've done a few orcs, just generally body paints. So sometimes when I do body paints, I try to, like, basically cheat. Like, I
Mhm.
have, like, these red tights that are, like, completely opaque, so, like, I don't have to paint my legs. I can just wear the red tights
Mhm.
and put my clothes on over it, and then it looks like my legs are painted. When I do my tiefling, my jester cosplay, I have blue tights and I have blue arm gloves. When I do the orc, I don't have any of that stuff, so I paint head to toe,
Oh my
every
goodness.
crevice, every crack, every full body. And that took forever.
Oh, I bet. Now you're just doing all of it by hand, or do you airbrush, or?
I have an airbrush.
Mhm.
When I did the orc last time, I was just using a brush because I didn't have green airbrush paint at the
Oh
time.
my goodness. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What would you say is like inspires you the most?
Definitely, like I mentioned before, horror is
Mhm.
a huge inspiration for me.
Yeah.
That's where like all of my makeup passion started. Like I used to watch YouTube videos about how people could do like backyard special effects stuff and like like I I always was so excited when the Halloween store would open because I would stock up on latex and like
Mhm.
all of the fake blood and everything and just like last it throughout the year and just like making things with it. Um, and to be a little more like specific with horror,
Mhm.
I have always been really inspired by like old horror
Like
movies. Like
80s?
even earlier, I
Okay.
love like silent films. I love like the
Mhm.
classic Universal monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think there's something about it because they don't have any of like the digital effects, and
Mhm.
same with a lot of the '80s slashers too, like Jason and all of them. Like the practical effects is what draws me to it.
I
It's
absolutely agree. I hate all the CGI crap these days. It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
it
it
it just
kinda
looks.
looks cool, but
At
it's
some
like
point, it's just like make an animated movie.
exactly.
Like if you made it animated on purpose, you could exaggerate it and do something with it. Like
Right. Like, some movies I get it if there's, like, just a shit ton of fire or something, but,
yeah,
like, I don't know, there's a lot it's overdone to the extreme.
yeah. So like I think something about the physical aspect of it
Mhm.
makes it feel so much more real.
Over in the comments, Jane says you're an inspiration too.
Thank you.
What do you think is the biggest struggle that you have, like, as a creator?
Um, definitely just general mental health struggles are a thing that impacts my life a lot,
Mhm.
or like burnout. Uh, sometimes I feel like I've gotten to a point where I have good ways of managing things. Like I can tell when the red flags in my body start going off saying I need to take a break.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just like not do anything for a little bit.
Mhm.
But then that means I kind of disappear from my messages and never respond to things as you have seen.
Yeah.
I just like sometimes get overwhelmed and I just like shut down. But it's
Mhm.
like I think that's part of why I like what I do because I can still work around that stuff. If I were like in a regular job that's and I were shutting down so regularly, it would it would impact it. It would make it like really hard to do that. So
Right.
since I can like work from home and like do my own thing and work on my own schedule, I'm able to like recognize those things, takes breaks when I need, and work around like one of my things is I have narcolepsy, so
Mhm.
I have a really weird sleep schedule because of that. Um, so sometimes I'll be like up doing a photo shoot like in the middle of the night, like I was talking about earlier. Sometimes I'm up early working. As long as I'm getting the right amount of sleep,
Mhm.
I'm okay with it, but it's like I kind of lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
Yeah. Basically,
Alright.
I try to work around my issues as much as I can.
Mhm. Alright. So you do stuff with how the Shogath assemblies? Did
The
I say
Shoggoth
that right?
Assembly? Yeah.
How is it?
Shoggoth Assembly?
Okay. Tell me about them. Like, I didn't even hear about it until you were doing stuff with them, and I'm like, "What is this awesomeness?"
Yeah, so, like I said, horror being my main
Mhm.
inspiration for learning anything to do with makeup, um, when I found out my high school had this program that was like an apprenticeship thing where you could find a business and then do an apprenticeship there, and it would count as school credits. And you would basically be working for some place and getting school credits while learning about whatever trade you wanted to learn about.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, I don't think it was intended to do special effects makeup, but I learned about this program and I was like, I'm gonna make this work for me. And
Right.
I spent a bunch of time that summer researching, trying to find any special effects makeup companies. And there was only one that I found in my state. And
Mhm.
I sent a Facebook message and I was like, hey, this might be weird, but would you be interested in doing this? Could I come work for you? And that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. So what I know, like I've seen you they do like silicone faces and stuff, but like what's everything you do over there?
Actually, I meant to grab one of them. I have one right over here. I'm gonna
Okay.
swing it this way. So the first one, this this is my own face. Um, so
I
we
mean, it
do,
literally it looks like, Bubba came over with his meat carving tool thing and
yeah,
cut your face off. Like that is legit looking.
yeah. Well, that's why Leatherface is one of my favorite horror villains because I just have this like kinship. Like, yeah, I also feel the urge to rip people's faces off and sew them together. Like, I get it. um, so yeah, we do life casts, so we
Hmm.
use silicone to make copies of people's body parts, mainly faces. So a lot of the faces that we have come from like local actors and stuff who have needed a special effects prop
Hmm.
for whatever film they're making. So we'll make like a hard copy of this that you can sculpt on and make a prosthetic on and stuff, and then we can use that same mold to make these out of them.
How long does it take to make those?
Um, That's always a weird question
Okay.
because I have such an assembly line of doing them. So, like, the time it takes to do one mask can can vary, but I can get a lot of them done at once. Like, so we have like a flesh layer that you lay in, and then a backing layer, and
Mhm.
then different layers of paints that I do on them and stuff. So after each layer, it has to sit and dry and cure. So, if with counting the time it takes to wait, it can be a really long process.
Mhm.
But when I'm doing like I lay in the first layer of this one, and then while that's drying, I put in the first layer of the next one, and then I'm doing multiple at the same time. By the time I'm done with the last one I have, it's ready to do the next step of the first one again. So I usually get like a bunch of them going at the same time. That's why so many of my videos I have when I post like making the masks, they're all like
Mhm.
super sped up because I'm just like making I just like sit there for the whole day and I'm just working on them all day.
All right. Someone over in the comments, Rick says, "Go Jinx, you're awesome."
Thank you.
So what are you working on special for this year? If there's anything you can talk about that you're doing.
Um well, I have a few photo shoots that I've done this last couple like January into February. I kind of
Mhm.
went ham doing a lot of photo shoots. So I have stuff like really planned out. Right now, one of the ones that I am really proud of is inspired by the movie My Bloody Valentine.
Oh,
And
cool.
I went and got an old gas mask, and I have some of my decorations still hanging up there.
Mhm.
I decked my whole room out in just like crazy amount of Valentine's decorations. And it was just like overload of pink, but like the gas mask, so it was kind of freaky at the same time.
That's really
Um,
cool.
that was really fun. And then the next one I have coming up after that is um, I do a lot of clown stuff also in addition to the horror
Mhm.
stuff. And I was commissioned by someone to do a, a video where I'm dressing up as a mime, but I have this cursed makeup collection, and as I put it on, my mouth disappears. So I'm like, I can't talk because
Huh.
I'm a mime with no mouth.
Someone's
So I did a whole
commissioning you to do
prosthetic.
that?
What?
Someone's commissioning you to do that?
Yeah. Well, I already made it.
Okay, well, that's
I did a whole
hella
prosthetic
interesting.
application for it, and it was just really fun to make a little thing where, like, my makeup was a big focus of the video.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, so you have Meow Magic Monsters. It's like clothing that you do, right?
Yeah, so that's my page where I just post all of my art stuff that
Mhm.
isn't my face.
Right.
Um, so the shirt I'm wearing today is actually hold on.
Ooh.
This is one of the things I've made. This is actually
Mhm.
a big chunk of silicone blood that I made at the shop assembly. Um, so I have some clothing that is like pattern digital art that
Mhm.
is printed on fabric, and then I have some that is like, these are like hand painted patches that I sew, and
Mhm.
um, I have been making pants and just making a bunch of like customized clothes, and that's been really fun to work on. Um, Especially like I was saying, like sometimes when I have those like I need a break from the internet,
Mhm.
it's so nice to just sit on the couch and watch RuPaul's Drag Race and sew and paint
Mhm.
and not, like, think about the outside world for a little bit.
So, how did you come up like, why do you call it Meow Magic Monsters? Where did that come from?
Um, so I have always kind of had, like, this conflicting aesthetic thing
Mhm.
going on where, like, I love scary things, but I also love cute things, and
Mhm.
I wanna be, like, goth and spooky and a monster, but I also wanna be cute and like a princess sometimes.
Mhm.
And, um, I think for a long time that was this back and forth pull in me that was like, "Am I this or am I that?"
Mhm.
And at some point I realized I am both of those things and they can all exist. And so the Meow Magic Monsters is like the meow comes from like the cute things that inspire
Mhm.
me and the cute like especially with it being like clothing and art that there's a lot of variation of aesthetics that you can find.
Mhm.
So there's the cute things. The magic is kind of a fantasy, nature inspired things are like nature has always been very inspiring to me.
Mhm.
And then monsters for the horror. Um,
Okay.
so they're all things that you would look at and think these don't mesh together, but I
Right.
kind of just put them together anyways because they're all things that inspire me.
That's awesome. I love that.
Thank you.
If you were an animal, what kind would you be and why?
I think I would be a mouse
I think that
because
fits you pretty well.
yeah, I I saw a post the other day that
Mhm.
had like a mouse and a bunch of little bugs and it said, "I hope no one kills me for the crime of being small." And I was like,
Oh,
I relate to this.
that's cute. All right. Where can people follow you? I think you're
My
like
name
everywhere, right?
yeah, I'm on every social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on Reddit, I'm on YouTube technically, but I don't really post on YouTube that much
Mhm.
anymore. Um, I'm basically all of the places. My name is Jinx Aesthel. Um, I have a link tree which has links to all of my things are on that. So that that's got everything.
Alrighty. And I'm gonna actually pop that link up for a minute and be nice and stuff. Like that. Doop, doop. Where the fuck is my thing? There it is. If you want to find Jinx's stuff, go there. Right there.
Oh, that way.
Yeah, that way. All right. Is there anything you wanted to talk about on here that you haven't touched on?
support local artists, support
Yes.
small artists.
Yes.
Whether they make clothing or draw or make music, whatever they do, find someone small and support small creators.
Absolutely. I think that is one of the most important things to do. I mean, if we didn't, I wouldn't be here, so.
Yeah. Same.
All right. Well, all right. Thank you so much for coming on here. This was
Oh,
fun.
thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Yeah, definitely. After I roll the credits, you're welcome to hang out for a bit if you want to.
Cool.
Okay. Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.